All right, we're here with Danny. He's actually a subcontractor out of Utah, local boy. Danny and I have actually met on the job sites before. Danny just went off on his own, started his own painting company, and I've had the pleasure of getting to know Danny and working with Danny. And one of the things that, some of the things that we want to go through, Danny, if this is accurate, based on the questionnaire we filled out in the beginning, is you want to discuss mindset, business, and life, and kind of how that encompasses around your current painting business. One of your biggest fears that you have is failing your family. And then one of the things that you really want to understand, as a contractor, i.e. a general contractor's experience with subcontractors, good or bad. What are the things that stand out to me as a general contractor when working with subcontractors, and how can they provide more value? How have I had a bad experience and a good experience, and what is the reason for those experiences? So, Danny, welcome to the show, man.
Awesome. Thank you. Thank you for having me, man. Thank you for opening up and giving us free coaching calls and just being who you are. Thank you.
Yeah, of course, man. Thank you. I mean, I see you out there hustling. I know you're trying hard, and how old are you, Danny?
21.
21 years old. You just went off on your own, started your own business. Like that takes a lot of courage. I don't think I started my first business till I was probably 24. And so, yeah, it's difficult. And the fact that you're out there starting entrepreneurship at such a young age it's really commendable. So, I'm excited to kind of dive into this with you. So, yeah, like what are some of the questions and concerns or, thoughts you have around mindset and business and life?
So, for mindset, what are your core beliefs on entrepreneurship you know are crucial to succeeding in the construction space?
You know, the core beliefs, it's all different for everyone else. I'd say like a core belief of mine would be that um, it's never going to be easy. It's really difficult, and you have to accept that, and you have to realize that there's going to be tough days. But the tough days are when you really have to lean in the most, because as you and I were talking, just before this call, like I'm struggling to find work for the spring. I'm really struggling to find the work, and I don't have any work lined up for the spring. So I'm looking at months down the road. How am I going to make that payroll? And those are the times you get discouraged and sad and bummed and like, shit, dude, I don't know if I can keep doing this. And that's when you really have to get on the horse and keep riding, because you got to keep making those sales calls and do that. So I'd say my core belief is you just have to embrace the suck and keep going.
Ooh, love that. Embrace the suck and keep going. Thank you. So, number two, where did your mindset start and what were the actions or information that led you to discovering more?
My mindset started just like I'd say when I was right around 25 years old. I never really read a book till I was 25, and I got into just self-development books, and I just read all of them. I read, I've got audiobooks. I read the books. Tony Robbins was a big North Star for me, for 15, 20 years. And just repetitively listening to mindset things, how to get better. There's so many flavors out there of what you want, whether it's the Goggins and stay hard and never give up and quit being a pussy, or there's the more gentle people that are, find yourself through God, or touch, your soul, or think deeper. Whatever the situation is, it's really immersing yourself in content and material that keeps you thinking differently than most people.
Agreed. Awesome.
So,
1000%.
yeah.
Thank you. For business, when did you start your business? Oh, when you started your business, what did you fundamentally apply to succeed?
We had the attitude, and it kind of became our MO was whatever it takes, And so, for example, that is like today's Saturday. My whole team's out of town today, coincidentally, and I had three subcontractors that needed stuff because they're working Saturdays. It's snowing, so I knew that I was gonna be on this phone call with you 3 hours from when I woke up, and so I had to go to Home Depot. I had to go get some certain things for this. I had to go get some supplies for these guys. I had to go to this other job site. I had to come to the office to put out a bid for a potential job. And so before 11 o'clock on a Saturday, I've already put in 3 or 4 hours of work. And so whatever it takes is kind of the mindset you have to have. And sometimes, yeah, you're going to be there late night. You're going to be doing stuff and you're like, this is bullshit. I don't want to do this. But like, that's what's required. I mean, there's not one entrepreneurial story that I've ever heard. Anybody that I know that has millions, tens of millions, hundreds of millions of dollars, they have hundreds, if not thousands of stories of they thought their back was up against the wall and they just had to do whatever it takes. And driving 5 states across, towing some stuff to go sell to a grocery store, or, the last ditch effort before they had to sell their house and go bankrupt, like, and now they're worth $100 million. There's all those types of stories. And so I'd say like the core belief that I had out of the gate was you have to do whatever it takes because it's gonna be hard.
Thank you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, I let me ask you this, like in your business, in your life, and in your young entrepreneurial career, like what are you struggling with the most? Where are you feeling that you're lacking, or the confidence or the mindset, or where do you feel that you don't have the tools yet?
Um, Definitely with I feel like relationships and connection, I need to open myself up more and maybe get around the right people to also like soak in the ideas that they have and get connected with the people that they know so I could, potentially get more work or get more or if they know a contractor that is like high end and I just end up, working with them or just anywhere that I could add my value into the space. Really much my problem is to really showcase and to show them that I'm valuable to their team, but it's like I can't I mean, I haven't, how would I say? It's like, it's hard for when you're starting off, they don't know your references, they don't know who you are, they don't know where you've been, they don't know what you do, they don't know your work. So it's like
Mhm.
just getting that first foot in the front door and persuading them and guiding them into accepting the work, into accepting your trade to be into their team. Like that's just the process that where I'm at to really persuade them and to really get them on my side and to help them out and help myself out too.
Let me ask you this, Danny. What's your goal with the business as far as like, do you guys want to cover all aspects of painting? So do you want to do like remodels, and clients want to touch up the side of their house and they want to like they resided a barn and want to like paint the man cave, or do you want to stick with like contractors and focus on like brand new builds, or all the above?
All the above, but we want to specialize only into like ex interior, exterior painting. We want to specialize heavily on those. We want to make sure that our curb appeal is like when they see that painting, when they see the scope of work of painting, they know that it's from R&B painters by like the small details of oh they have it all set, the colors there, the shine is there, the way that they applied it, the way that it looks is it's all there fundamentally, like from where it's taped up, from where it's masked off. Yeah, it's just
So is this in relation with more so homeowners? Like, would you like to go find like, Bill and Jill, and they're looking
no
to repaint their house? Or are you looking to work with someone like me, and do new builds?
with you. Yeah,
Okay.
definitely with you. New builds.
So like the biggest thing, you're right. I mean, I get hit up every single day from trades, that just drive by and they're looking at job signs and they're like, "Hey, I saw you're building a house here. Like, can we do X for you?" And I get in, and becomes overwhelming too because I have like
Mhm.
30 people, or I'm like, "Send me an email. I got nothing to bid." And I'm gonna forget about those 30 people. And so I was thinking about this the other day, like how can you get creative in this and like stand out? And for one, any contractor that you work with, I'd say like if you had something simple like a Google review card for them to scan, and like when you're done with the job, Danny, and you're like, "Hey man, like we're done, like punch list, like are we good? Like this is the last time you're gonna see me, basically." And I'm like, "Yeah." And you're like, "Hey, can you do me a favor?" And like right then and there, like have me scan a Google card or something and be like, "It's a QR code. Like, can you leave me a Google review?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'll leave you one." And like, don't wait a week or 2 weeks and be like, "Hey, David, can you do this?" Because I'll get busy and forget. So like, do it while I'm standing next to you, and like the odds are they'll leave you a better review if you're right there, and you don't have to be watching them. But be like, "Hey, before I leave, can you do this really quick? Like just 2 sentences, and like this link will take you right there. All you gotta do is type it in, and if you can go to this is a long term play, but if you can go to someone in 5, 10 years and say, "Yeah, we have 5,000 reviews on Google. We have 800 reviews on Google." That's a huge calling card. And like they're like, "Dang, dude, this guy has like 4.9 stars with 8 reviews or 800 reviews." And that's just you not letting me, i.e., the contractor, out of the room until I review your business. No one's
Gotcha.
doing that, but that's a simple thing that you can do. And then as far as kind of jumping down to like the last question that you had about like contractor experience, good or bad, like I'd say the biggest thing for me when I'm, because painters are a dime a dozen. Like it is hard to like showcase your work and see how you do because, um, but like you got to come ready. And so like if I was you, I would make sure that like included in your bid. And if this is more work for you, Danny, and it costs more money, include it in the bid. But you're soup to nuts. Like my biggest pet peeve, and I don't know if you guys are this person, so but is when a painter comes and like, hey, like the house needs to be fully clean. I got to vacuum all these windows and this and that. It's like, great, vacuum them. Like, yeah, I can get a team of cleaners there, but like you know how clean you need everything to be. You know how so like so you say like, yeah, we're gonna start painting on Wednesday. We're coming in Monday to do prep work, and all of Monday is we got three vacuums. We're running around. We got wet rags. We're wiping all the windows down. We're wiping the doors. We're getting rid of all the dust, and then we're prepping and like, and then sometimes you may have to do other work and be like, as you're walking around, hey, like I noticed these three blemishes in the drywall. We'll spackle those right now. Like I'll throw some mud on there and sand it and stuff. Like go a little above and beyond. Like it's really frustrating, and I understand as a business owner too like when you come in and the house isn't ready, you're like, this is bullshit, man. Like I got to do this other guy's work. Like the framer didn't finish this or this. Like I got to do this. Like that's annoying. I'm a painter. But if you can just come to me and say, hey, just want to let you know, like this wasn't done, but we're going to go ahead and do that for you. Just letting you know, we took care of this time. Next time, we're going to have to charge you like some extra hourly wages because this took 2 hours of our time. And so you're letting me know, like, hey, no big deal. Like this wasn't completed. If you could have this completed next time, that'd be great, but we'll take care of it for free this time. And so I'm like, dang, that's really cool. Like you guys didn't stop and be like, well, you got to get someone else here to finish that. And this happens to us every day. And it's the guys that are like, yeah, this isn't my job, but I did it anyways. Those are the guys that I'm like, thank you for providing value. It's when someone says without saying it, not my job. That's really frustrating. And so if you're like, yeah, like, well, that wasn't done. Like, I can't do it. Like, and we're not going to do it till you get this guy back to finish it. We'll just start in the other rooms. I'm like, okay, like, but can you do it? You're like, yeah, but that's not in my bid. I get that. But if it's like $150 of your time or something, just do it for the first time. And
Yep.
then let me know or the contractor know, hey, like we did this. Normally though, we're gonna have to charge you like $75 an hour. It was 2 hours of our time. And I'm like, cool,
Got
that
it.
was nice of you. Like you didn't send me a change order. You went, we're just trying to keep the project moving. And then lastly on that note, dude, is like, so that's providing more value. And then you come ready, like come with all your materials, all your tools, all like everything, and then over communicate. Like, hey David, it's Danny. Like I saw that you guys just finished framing the house. I'm gonna come field measure the house and make sure that our bid's accurate. Cool. Okay, like, hey, I just want to let you know, like, we're gonna once drywall's done, I want to paint some samples on the walls. I want to get the sheens for the baseboards. I want to do this. I want to do this. Like, you're calling me and staying ahead of it. Like, when would you like me to do a mock up for that bright accent red wall in the house? Like, let me get that mock up. Like, over communicate with me. Over communicate with the site super. Make sure that you're valuable enough that we can't replace you because we're like, dang, dude, like no one else communicates like Danny.
Got it. Perfect. Awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. These are gold. Gold mine right here.
Yeah, man. What else?
Gold mine. Okay. So second one. What are the top three mistakes one can do to fail in business you've seen?
Um, you can grow too fast. That's number one.
Ooh, grow too fast.
People see it all the time. Holy shit, dude! Like, dude, if we get these hundred, like, all of a sudden, you get a complex, Danny, and like, let's
Uh-huh.
say you find a contractor who's like, yeah, dude, I got 25 units. You can have them all. You're like, whoa, dude, like 25 units. That's $1 million for our business. Holy cow! And you're growing too fast, and then all of a sudden, you get three new guys, four new guys, and then all of a sudden, like, I'm like, Danny, I'm calling you, and I'm like, Danny, where are you? You're like, oh, dude, I'm just busy on these 25 units. Like, I'll be done. And you've been awarded three other jobs that coincidentally hit at the same time as these 25 units. And now you can't get to my job because you're so busy and you don't want to let this other guy down because he gave you 25 units and you've hired all these people. And then you're so busy caught up in it. Now you forgot to like go get new work or provide good value because you're so busy. You're just drowning. And all of a sudden, now David's mad at you because you've abandoned me and you've abandoned the other Joe up in another job because you had to focus on these 25 houses because it's $1 million for your business. You're like, shit, those 25 houses are done. And you've been so focused on that, you forgot to get more work. So now you got more payroll, you got more people, and you don't have the work to pay those guys. And now you're in trouble. And you've already tarnished your relationships with the two other guys that you dissed because you had a quote shinier object, to go after. So growing too fast is number one. That's a big one. Not understanding your cash flow and setting your prices accurately. So like you really need to sit down with a CPA. I don't know if you're a numbers person or like sit down with someone in your business, your dad or whoever, and write down all your numbers. Okay, like Danny's salary is X, my dad's salary is X, our two employees' salaries are X. This is our overhead. We got to pay taxes, we got to pay insurance, we got to do this. So in order to survive, we need to do 3 jobs a month. That is the bare minimum. Okay, 3 jobs a month. Great. So now I got to go get 10 jobs for the next, you know, 3 months or something. That's just our survival rate. Now, what do I got to do to be profitable? So you got to start working backwards. So really get all the cash flow. Like, what do you need to survive? And then what are you looking to make? And how many jobs do you need to do that? And then at what point do you need to bring new people on? And so have a number in your mind. When we get to 6 houses, we got to bring a new guy on. When we get to 12 houses, we need to bring 2 guys on. And that's going to cost us X. So now our cash flow, no longer we need 3 houses to survive. We actually need 4 because we got 2 new guys on the crew that require more
Mm,
money.
got it.
So understanding your cash flow would be number 2. And then number 3, I don't know, man, like sales, dude. I mean, if you're not out there selling, like I'm guilty of it as well. Like, you know, if you listen to my content, like I talk about it, like I got cocky, like we were killing it. We had a lot of houses and I just was like, so same thing. I was drowning in everything. And I was like, oh, the work's coming. People are calling, like, we'll be fine. And now I'm 3-4 months out from spring going, shit, like I really need to land 1 or 2 more projects and I'm bidding 3 or 4 right now, but I don't have any contracts signed. And that's an unsettling feeling. And that's entrepreneurship. I know we'll be okay, but it humbled me enough to say, okay, like I need to always be selling, always be looking, communicating. And so like my thought is, Danny, is like, I'm going to have 1,000 touch points this year. So I'm going to call 1,000 realtors or whatever. And even if a touch point is just like sending a text out, hey, Danny, David here. Like we spoke 4 months ago, just touching base. How are you? And I got to do 3 of those a day.
Okay.
And, one of those 3 will get me a new house, or one of those 1,000 will get me a new house. And that's the way you got to think. You got to just follow up with one person every single day and never let up on the gas on that. That's just your job for the rest of your business career.
Dang. Gold. Thank you. Awesome. Cool. Life. On your free time, what do you do to learn or stay ready for the next thing?
So like a Tony Robbins thing is he calls it net time, no extra time. So when you're driving, when you're at the gym, when you have headphones on, you're cleaning your house, that's no extra time. You're already doing that task. Instead of listening to music, listen to something that's going to fill your
Mm,
mind.
okay.
And like you should definitely be listening to business podcasts. You should definitely be listening to like people that are telling you how to manage cash flow. If you want to get into real estate, you're kind of excited about as you start getting more money, you want to start flipping houses or doing whatever you're passionate about, a side hustle about, whatever, like start consuming that type of content. Start consuming the mindset content. And so, yeah, the Tony Robbins thing, no extra time. You're driving, you're working out, you're cleaning, you're walking, you're already doing that task. Just throw something in your ears it's giving you, more information than you already know.
Thank you. What has life taught you so far?
That it's a bitch. Like what life's taught me the most, Danny, is like I've had multiple failed businesses, and I'm the eternal optimist, and I'm always the guy that's like, oh man, we could do this and sell it for this, and oh man, it'd be so cool, and like we're gonna be billionaires, and then all of a sudden, like what life has taught me is it takes longer than you think, and this is an Alex Hermosi line, and like people don't realize how long the thing takes. And so when they start getting into the thing, you're like, oh man, I thought this would happen faster. So 3 years in, they like see another shiny object. Oh, dude, I can make double this. I'm going to go do this. And then they quit the thing in 3 years in and they go do something else. And then 3-4 years into that, they quit that thing and go do something else. And they keep getting excited. And he goes, only to find that 10, 15 years later, they're still not where they wanted to be. And had they stuck with that original thing for 10 or 15 years, it would have worked. But it's just always going to take more time than you think. And I've been guilty. I mean, I'm 40 years old, and it took me a long time to realize that because I just had the excited, optimistic attitude that it's going to work and it's going to work really fast. And it never has. And it still hasn't. And so yeah, it's going to take time. And if you really want it, then set your timeline on the course of a decade, not years.
Ooh, course of a decade.
So if you, I mean, Danny, you're 21 years old, dude. Shit, man. Like if you focus on this painting business for 10, 15 years, you'll be 30, 35 years old. You'll have money. And then you can be like, I'm over painting. I don't want to do this anymore. But I got some money in the bank. I worked really hard. And now I'm going to go explore my next passion. Because if you're an entrepreneur at heart, you're always going to have a new passion. That's the bug that you can't shake.
Yeah. Hey, hats off to you still. I mean, what you've built from where you started is it's insane. Hearing your story from the content that you put out, it's crazy, man. It's crazy how from where you started it's inspiring though. Very inspiring because it's like even though life is a bitch, even though it can take you and throw you around and toss you around, you are living testimony that with just ambition and hard driven qualities of relentless nights and perseverance and resilience, you will get to where you want to get to. So,
Well, I mean, to give you credit too, um, I this is an Alex Hormozy line as well, and it's like I don't know the exact line, but I'm always, when I was in my 20s, I was a professional skier. I was traveling around. I'm drinking a lot, smoking weed, like having a good life, man. Like I really was having a really good life, and like no regrets. Like I'm traveling the world, skiing, doing what I love to do, but I was fucking around. I was partying with my friends and doing all the things, and like had I gone back and done it differently, like I would have I would have focused on business because, you can either have a really easy life in your 20s and 30s like I did. I was skiing every day. It was rad, dude. Like I was, waiting tables at night and skiing during the day and like, dude, what a cool life. So I had a really easy life. And now that I'm in my 40s, I'm grinding. So I have a harder life in my 40s versus now you can be in your 20s and have a really hard life per se. Like you're not going out, you're working, you're grinding, you're this and that. So then when you're in your 30s and 40s, you have a really easy life because you've put in the time for the last 20 years. So, if I were to go back and do it differently, I would get really focused on business for that decade, 2 decades. So then when I'm 40, I can say, okay, I don't have to work if I don't want to. I'm going to go do exactly what I want to do the rest of my life.
thank you. I agree. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, yeah, and you're single. I mean, I don't know if but you're not married. You don't have kids. Like
No.
this is your time, dude. Like you don't
Yeah,
have obligations. You don't have priorities to family where you got to be there and drop kids off at school, and your wife's requiring you to do stuff. And like, now's your time, dude. Just grind it out. And I want to kind of circle back on your fear. Your fear is failing your family, Danny. And like, elaborate on that. Why are you afraid to fail your family? Like, what is your family? Have they told you that they need you to survive, and they told you that Danny, that you're the one that has to do this for the family?
it's mostly, well, I want to, so my parents have sacrificed a lot for us, and I want to sacrifice my time to build something with them so we could uh, aim upwards and aim towards a goal that we're all prospering and we all have the cake, right? We all have a slice of the cake, and it's a lot of the slice of the cake, you know? So really just I want to give them a better life. I don't know. Like
But
part
if
of
you
me
don't
is
give them a better life, are you really failing them? Would they be not proud of you? Would they be upset at you?
no, I don't think they would. I think I'm putting that on myself.
Yeah, so this is self-inflicted pressure, and so your fear is failing your family, but your family's not expecting you to quote not fail them. Your family's not expecting you to, like, yeah, they want you to succeed. They want to see you do well, but they're not putting the pressure on you to do it, correct?
True. Yeah.
So you're not failing them. You're putting this self-inflicted, pressure on yourself to succeed and quote not fail your family. But you know, your goal should be, Danny, not to think about failing. Your goal should be just to put in the work every day. And every day you have a checklist. And maybe that checklist just for Saturday is to text people like me, since we work together sometimes, and just be like, hey, David, just checking in, seeing how you got any bids, jobs I can bid. No? Okay. And like every day you're like, I got to reach out to 2 contractors. Every day I got to reach out to 2 realtors. Every day I got to meet new people. Like every day I got to meet one new person. And then I got to put in the bids for this job. And then I got to go drive around and check in on the crews and whatever. And like the goal isn't to make a certain amount of money. The goal isn't to not fail. The goal is to do the work that's required every day. And if you just keep working and doing the things on your to-do list every day. And that's the boring shit, the boring work that no one wants to do. And if you keep just doing that every single day, that boring work starts to pay off years down the road. But you won't see it for years. You're going to be calling 200 contractors and realtors and homeowners and be like, hey, I'm a painter. And they're all going to be like, cool, man. Have a great day. And you're going to be like, man, I called 200 people and I got 0 leads. And that's when people give up. They're like, this sucks. Like, this isn't working. Where if your goal isn't the result, your goal isn't to, like, out of 200 realtors, I'm going to get 20% of them to say yes, you can paint the house. That's not the goal. The goal is to call 200 realtors. The goal is to call 200 contractors. The goal is to check off the to-do list every single day, not the result from it. That takes away from your fear of failing. That takes away from your fear of not succeeding. That takes away from, like, the result and just says, hey, good job, Danny. You had the to-do list today. You had 5 things you had to do today and you did all 5. Good job. What's on the docket tomorrow? And every day you just do it. You just do the to-do list, and then it will add up, dude. And it's not going to happen quick. And that's back to what life has taught me. It doesn't happen the way you think it will. It takes a lot longer. And if you just keep putting in that work every day, it will pay off. But you're not failing your family, dude. You got it. That's pressure that's going to make you really anxious and really scared and act from a position of weakness. And you need to act from a position of strength. And when you act from a
Oh,
position of strength, you start making decisions on what needs to be done today, not, oh my God, if I don't do this, then we're not going to have a job next month. And if we don't have a job next month, we're going to lose our business. Holy shit. No, I'm going to make the calls today.
cool. So take it a day at a time, and make sure you go through your checklist and do what the fuck is required, the boring work, and make sure that you just keep rolling the ball.
Straight up. Stop looking at the results. Stop
Okay,
looking at, like, obviously, we go back to, like, what you need to survive. And yeah, you need those 3
of
jobs
course.
every month to, like, pay the bills. Obviously, that's a result that you need to hit. But when you're calling these real estate agents, you're calling these contractors, you're calling these homeowners, you're doing all these things to market your business, get the sales. Like, don't think about, like, I need to land 1 out of every 10 people. Just say, no, I need to make 100 phone calls.
Okay,
When I make 100 phone calls, great. I did it. Good job. And I got 0 people to say yes. Tomorrow, I got to make 100 more phone calls. And like, that's when I call these real estate agents, Danny, I'm at, like, I don't even know, I'm at like 400 real estate agents. I haven't landed 1 job from that, not 1. And so I got to just, but if I'm attached to that result, I'm fucked, because
exactly.
that result is 0% right now.
Yeah.
And so by, some people's mindset is, I'm failing my family. I'm failing this. No, I'm doing what I have to do, and it's just going to take longer than I thought.
Whew. Damn, that is gold right here. Gold on, man. Ladies and gentlemen, David.
Right, man.
Tight, man. Cool. Okay, so for what's a great subcontractor's qualities? Like just top 3. Just
Well, kind of going
communication.
back to what we said, like, coming
Yeah,
ready, provide more value, like,
gotcha.
so what's something you can do that most painters aren't doing? We're like, dude, shit, dude, if I came
Okay.
in and was like, I don't know, I can't think of it off the top of my head. I don't want to sit here and, like, waste time just kind of, but, like,
Yeah.
dude, you've been through 1,000 paint houses, and, like, what's something you're like, dude, like, if you could just provide something a little bit, like, maybe include it in your bid, Danny, you say, and you add it, like, let's just say, okay, um, it costs you $25,000 to paint the house, and you say to the homeowner or the contractor, "Hey, included in that 25, like, it costs you $20,000 to bid the house or
Hmm.
paint it, but you bid it at 25, and you say, included in this is a 1 year warranty. We'll come back and do any touch up paint in 1 year." And so, like, you've accounted that $5,000 already in there, and then when I pay you the $5,000 to $25,000, you put that $5,000 in a savings account. You never touch it, and you say, this is house A, B, and C's money that I got to pay my crew to go back 365 days from now to touch up all that paint.
Got it. Oof.
It's a
Okay.
value, like, hey, not only in this 25,000 are we done on, the day we're done, but we have a 1 year warranty, and we come back, on this day, and we'll touch up any paint in the house. And obviously it has to be within reason. There's got to be something in writing, like, you're not going to paint a whole new wall red or something, but, like, so yeah, what can you do above and beyond? And, like, sometimes those valuable things, like, you're like, shit, well, what if I lose the job because I'm 25 and the other guy's 20? Like, but someone may see that value. Yeah, I'm $5,000 more, but ask that other guy if he's going to come back and touch that up in a year. Odds are he won't. and you've covered that in your bid. So just get a little creative how like your customer service can go beyond the completion of the job.
Ooh, creative on the customer. Okay, awesome. Okay,
Maybe with caulking too. Like perfect example at my house, like it's already settled. We built it 6 months ago. It's already settled. All the caulking separating. So maybe you guys, yeah, we'll come back and touch it up and recaulk all the joints. That's a fucking great value.
that it. Okay, cool, nice. Uh, for the last part, what can I do to become a valuable partner on your team?
You got to just provide better value than the other guy. You got to over communicate. You got to, like you got like when it comes to your bidding, Danny, like nothing drives me more insane than when someone bids a job. Like I actually just had this recently with another painter, and we are like, hey, we need everything to be bid out, and they came into the house ready to start paint, and they go, hey man, we didn't include these windows in the bid. I'm like, what? They're like, we didn't include the windows, and I'm like, okay, like. So I go back and look at all the email documentation, look at the files I sent them, this and that, and they're right. It didn't call it out anywhere. But I said to them, like, so first of all, that's 100% on me. Like, I take all the blame. Like, I didn't tell you you need to paint the windows, and it wasn't in the drawing. So you bid what you were supposed to. However, you're a painter, and my guess is 50% of the houses you paint the windows. They're wood clad windows 50% of the time. Maybe it's 20, but whatever. So as a painter, when you provide a bid, you should have a checklist of all the things that you need to know to provide an accurate and valuable bid. So you don't come back to me when you start the house and go, shit, dude, I didn't know that doors were going to be stained. That's going to be 15 extra $1,000. I'm like, well, shit, man. You should be having that list when you send it out to, like, if I say, hey, bid this job, you come back to me and say, hey, I need to know what sheen is the baseboards. Is it paint grade doors, stain grade doors? What are the windows painted? Like, are the walls the same tone? Are they satin? Are they eggshell? Like, do I got to paint the stairs? Do I got to paint the railings? Like, you should have a list of 10 questions that you need per your experience as the expert in painting that you need to know to provide me an accurate bid. And I can go, oh no, windows are aluminum, don't need to paint them. Or, so that contractor just added $15,000 to this house, and it's not his fault. It's, like in all reality, I didn't tell him the windows need to be painted, but I'm like, shit, dude, why didn't you ask? And so that's frustrating for me when I have to provide perfect information to every single subcontractor or their bid's not going to be accurate. I expect you as the expert, because I work with hundreds of experts, plumbers, electricians, painters, siders, framers. You know your world better than I know your world. So give me some valuable information that I need to give you so you can provide an accurate bid so that price isn't going to change.
Cool. All right.
We're about at time. Do you have any other questions?
No, that's yeah, you've already hit all the questions that I wanted to ask you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
absolutely, man. Well, I think you're on your way, dude. I mean, you're at such a young age. I mean, I'll be totally blunt with you. The odds are against you. The odds are against all of us as
Yeah.
entrepreneurs. You have a 96% chance of failing in the first 10 years. So this is my third business. I have fallen into the 96%, on two other businesses. So, and one of them was on year 10. So it requires just relentless effort, not getting over your skis, like don't grow too fast, like really understand what you need to do and keep selling, dude. I mean, you got to keep those sales coming in the door, because without sales, you don't have a business. So, I appreciate you, Danny. Thanks for listening. Thanks for supporting the content, and it was nice chatting with you.
Thank you, David. Thank you so much for everything that you're doing, man. Thank you
Yeah,
so
man.
much.
Absolutely.
Appreciate you.
Have a great day.
Have a great day.